Number 1. Subtle signs that a married woman is interested in you. Man, first of all, you need to understand that married women, when they are interested in someone outside of marriage, are not going to go around making obvious statements. They play the game of subtlety because they know the risk they are taking. And this is where many of you go wrong, because you are distracted or simply don't know how to read the signs. Pay attention. Married women have strategies. They won't expose themselves for nonsense. So, if you're noticing extra attention, a different interest, or behaviors that are unusual, open your eyes. Small details like frequent smiles, a light touch on your arm during conversation, or even personal questions about your life that go beyond the casual can be indicative that something is up. And don't be fooled into thinking she's just being polite. Yes, some may be kind in nature, but the difference is in context and frequency. A married woman who is interested in you will usually make a point of being where you are, even if she disguises it very well. Now, don't confuse interest with play or politeness. Be smart, because the last role you want to play is that of a clown, fueling expectations where there is nothing but kindness. Learn to observe and, above all, to act wisely. If you don't know how to discern between a real signal and a fake one, you've already lost the game before it even starts. Number 2. The power of long glances. What they really mean. Look closely at me, because I'm going to tell you something you need to hear. A woman's eyes never lie. And when it comes to a married woman, the story is even more complex. Women who are interested in you, especially those who are committed, will use their eyes to say what their mouths can't. A prolonged look, the kind that lasts a few seconds longer than necessary, is practically a note written in invisible letters. I'm paying attention to you, but you, distracted as you are, let these moments pass as if they were ordinary. Learn to differentiate a casual glance from an intentional glance. When she looks at you, looks away, then looks back and still follows you with a discreet smile, this is no coincidence. She's testing whether you're smart enough to notice. And that's where your responsibility comes in. Don't be hasty. If you respond to these looks in a desperate way, showing that you have already fallen into her game, you will lose control of the situation. No woman respects a man who doesn't know how to play it cool. Use gaze as a way to establish connection, but maintain mystery. A man who knows how to control the intensity of his own gaze is more intriguing and, consequently, more difficult to forget. Number 3. How her behavior changes when she is around you. Pay attention to this, because this is where things start to become clearer. A married woman interested in you will change her behavior whenever you are around. She may start speaking softer, laughing differently, playing with her hair, or even physically positioning herself so that she is closer to you than other people. These changes, although subtle, speak more than any words. And you, once again, need to be smart to capture this. But be careful. Boy, don't confuse kindness or common nervousness with genuine interest. Women who are truly interested will show repeated signals, not just once. For example, if she always finds a way to start a conversation with you, even when there's no need, that's a strong indicator. Or, if every time you enter the room, she seems to adjust her posture or change the tone of the conversation, it's because your presence affects her. And here's a warning. Don't think that this puts you in complete control of the situation. Women are masters of subtle manipulation. They will give you enough signals to keep your interest, but never enough for you to be completely sure. It's a dangerous game, and if you don't know how to play, it's just another game to be discarded. Number 4. Why innocent messages can reveal your intentions. Man, if a married woman starts sending you messages frequently, even if they are seemingly innocent, it's time to turn on the alert. Messages are her safest way to test the waters. They might start out as something casual, like a question about work or something you've discussed previously, but they gradually become more personal. This is where you need to stop being naive and start paying attention to the tone of conversations. A message that arrives outside of typical hours, such as late at night or on weekends, has more than just a business or casual reason. What's more, if she's using emojis excessively or phrases that leave room for dubious interpretations, that's no coincidence. Now, be careful not to make the mistake of thinking that any message is a sign of interest. Your interpretation skills need to be sharp, because married women who are just being polite won't cross certain limits. Those who are interested will inevitably leave traces of their intentions. Number 5. How to interpret the compliments she gives. If a married woman starts complimenting you frequently, especially for things that go beyond the obvious, you are looking at a clear sign. A simple compliment like, "You're good at what you do," may seem casual, but tone and context make all the difference. Women who want more than friendship or professional respect often praise more personal characteristics, such as their appearance, intelligence, or way of being. However, Don't be so quick to believe that this means you have already achieved something. A compliment can just be a test. She wants to know if you will react like a confident man or like a boy desperate for validation. If you start overreacting or trying to return the compliment right away, you're showing her that she has control over you. And remember, an interested woman never wants someone too easy. She seeks challenge, tension. So instead of getting all silly with a compliment, show that you appreciate it, but don't rely on it to feel secure. Number 6, unexpected attitudes. When she seeks opportunities to be alone. If a married woman is making efforts to create moments when you can be alone together, that's a sign that can't be ignored. It could be something seemingly harmless, like asking for your help with something or suggesting that you talk in a more private setting. But understand, none of this is as innocent as it seems. Married women don't risk their reputation for something that isn't worth it. If she's creating opportunities to be close to you, it's because she's already calculated the risks and decided it's worth trying. Here, the mistake many men make is not realizing that, in these moments, they are evaluating their reaction. If you act insecure or awkward, you lose points. But if you know how to enjoy the moment calmly and confidently, you will become someone more interesting in her eyes. Be attentive, but never be hasty. Women who seek these moments want a man who knows how to take advantage of the opportunity without seeming desperate. Remember, control of the situation should always be in your hands. Number 7, why she starts asking personal questions about you. You know that curiosity that seems a little out of the ordinary. Suddenly, she starts asking about your life, your hobbies, your plans for the future, and even about past relationships. This isn't just casual or friendly interest. Married women who are trying to create a deeper connection or understand whether their feelings are reciprocated often use personal questions to break down emotional barriers. But pay attention. These questions usually have a different tone, often accompanied by more intense looks or body language that suggests something beyond simple friendship. Now, if you fall into the trap of responding to everything with enthusiasm or innocence, you may end up giving her exactly what she's looking for: an opening to move forward. Therefore, carefully assess the context before engaging in such intimate conversations. Number 8, how small gestures reveal great hidden interests. Sometimes a married woman's intentions can be conveyed in seemingly harmless actions. The way she fixes her hair while talking to you, the light touch on your arm during a conversation, or even the way she smiles exaggeratedly at your jokes. These gestures are indicative. These are not common gestures, but calculated ones. Small movements can contain big truths about what she is really feeling. Remember, women in this situation often know that they cannot be direct, so they invest in these gestures to communicate their intentions without having to say a single word. Your role is to realize this and not let yourself be fooled into thinking that everything is in your head. Number 9, why she mentions problems in her marriage to get closer. The most classic and dangerous tactic. Talking about how unhappy her marriage is, how emotionless she is, or how her husband doesn't understand her. This is a powerful psychological game. By doing this, she not only tries to gain your empathy, but also plants an idea that you can be her savior. Now, here's the blunt truth. When a woman brings up problems in her marriage, she is testing how willing you are to enter into this dynamic. Men who don't understand this often fall into the trap of becoming emotional therapists or confidants, only to realize too late that they have been used. Be smart and don't take the bait easily. Number 10, using games to test your receptivity. Oh, I'm just kidding. How many times have you heard this and thought it was true? Married women who are interested in you use teasing as a safe way to test how far they can go without compromising their intentions. They might make ingratiating jokes about how funny it would be for the two of you to be together or how you're exactly the type they like. But make no mistake, these games are not as innocent as they seem. They are playing with ambiguity, leaving room to deny any intention if you don't reciprocate. Be careful and don't let these pranks go unnoticed. Number 11, why she praises aspects that differentiate you from your husband. Compliments are common in any interaction, but when she starts highlighting specific things about you that clearly contrast with what she has at home, that's a clear sign of interest. She might mention how attentive you are, how funny you are, or how you have an eye-catching physique. Things that are somehow lacking in her relationship. This isn't just about admiration. It is an attempt to create a mental comparison between you and her husband. And you know the worst? Many men fall for this manipulation, believing that they are better and that they have a legitimate chance. Don't get carried away by the compliments. Keep your head cool. Number 12, the way she dresses or acts differently when she knows you will be around. Changes in behavior or appearance are another big indicator. If she suddenly starts dressing up more on days when she knows you'll be there or starts acting more charming around you, it's not a coincidence. Women who are interested make a point of showing their best version to attract attention. And, of course, this could include bolder clothes, striking perfumes, or even a smile that she doesn't give to anyone else. The question is, why should you be the target of this attention? Understand that most of the time this is just an attempt to engage you emotionally and see if you respond to her effort. Each of these attitudes may seem subtle, but together, they form a clear pattern. The important thing here is that you understand that not all the attention you receive should be valued or reciprocated. Your posture and discernment will define whether you will be another player in her game or whether you will come out of this as a smarter and more prepared man. Let's continue with the video, but first, if you've made it this far, my love, comment below with the word 100% or something similar to let them know, to confirm that you've learned from the video so far. For more interesting topics, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share later. What married women do when they are in love with another man. Number 1. The role of body language in revealing your feelings. Men, you need to open your eyes because women speak much more with their bodies than with words. When a married woman begins to show interest in another man, her actions say it all, even if her mouth remains silent. Notice how she looks at you. Are her gazes long, attentive, as if they are trying to decipher every detail of your face? Does she lean her body towards you during a conversation, even if the room is full of people? These small gestures are clear messages that something is out of the ordinary. Touch, then, is even more revealing. That hand that accidentally touches your arm, or the hug that lasts a second longer than it should. All of this is intentional. Women know exactly how to use body language to convey interest without saying a single word. You just need to stop being naive and start watching the signs. There's no point in acting distracted. It's your emotional future that's at stake. Number 2, how changes to your routine can be a sign of interest. If a married woman starts rearranging her day just to coincide with yours, this is not a simple coincidence. Did she start appearing in the same places as you, always with an excuse? I didn't know you were coming here too. Of course I knew. This is discreet planning to be close to you. Notice subtle changes like lunch times that suddenly coincide, or invitations for casual conversations that come out of nowhere. Even social media comes into play. If she starts liking and commenting on your posts frequently, that's another clue that you've become a priority in her routine. But here's a warning. Don't confuse this with love or something special. Many times, she is just testing the limits to see how far she can go. The question is, are you willing to play this game and suffer the consequences? Number 3. Why she might start sharing personal secrets with you. When a married woman starts opening her heart to you, something is very wrong. Make no mistake, she's not seeking advice or just venting. Talking about marriage problems, insecurities, or secret dreams is an attempt to create an emotional bond with you. This is where many men fall like ducks. They believe they are being chosen because they are special or better than her husband. Sorry to burst your bubble, but this is a classic move. Sharing secrets creates an intimacy that makes you feel important, like you are unique. But guess what? You're just a piece in her game. Don't allow yourself to be emotionally manipulated by sad stories or deep confessions. Stay focused on reality. If she's sharing secrets, it's because she wants something from you, not because she blindly trusts your kindness. Number 4, what it means when she seeks your emotional validation. Here's another trick you need to understand. Women in love with another man, even if they are married, will do anything to make you validate their feelings. They'll ask you what you think about their new hair, the clothes they're wearing, or even the decisions they're making in their lives. It's not that they really need your opinion. They want to know if they are pleasing you. This type of behavior shows that you have become a focal point in her life, and that, my friend, is a trap. When a woman seeks your validation, she is testing the limits of your attention. And if you match, congratulations. You've just given her a reason to stay on this path. Be smart and notice when emotional validation is being used as an excuse to create emotional dependence. Number 5, small gifts or gestures that hide big intentions. How many times have you thought a gift was just a polite or friendly gesture? So know that when a married woman starts giving you anything, no matter how small, there is a message behind it. A coffee paid for in the middle of the day, a chocolate because I remembered you, or even a note with a silly compliment. All of this has a purpose, to establish an emotional connection or to feed a feeling of debt in you. The problem is that many men are blind to these moves. They accept these gifts thinking they mean nothing. So here's a warning. Women don't make these gestures without reason. If she's giving you special attention, something is up, and you need to decide now whether you're going to fall for it or set limits before it's too late. Number 6. Why she avoids talking about her husband too much when she is with you. If you notice that a married woman avoids mentioning her husband in conversations, that's an obvious sign that she wants to create a space where he simply doesn't exist. Think about it. She is deliberately trying to make you forget that she has a commitment so that you feel more comfortable around her. When she talks about her husband, it is only to criticize him, showing that he does not value her or that the marriage is in ruins. It's a strategy that makes you see her as a victim who deserves to be saved. But here's the blunt truth. If she truly respected you, this conversation wouldn't even be happening. Women who avoid talking about their husbands are creating an illusion of emotional freedom that doesn't exist. You are being manipulated into believing that you are a solution to her problems, when in fact you are being used as an outlet. These signs are no joke, and you need to start seeing beyond appearances. Married women who fall in love with another man are masters at hiding their intentions until they get what they want. So, before you fall for it, ask yourself one question. Is it worth joining a game where you are just a disposable piece? If the answer is no, it's time to step aside and prioritize your own dignity. Number 7. How to understand the signs in moments of silence or hesitation. Moments of silence, my friends, speak louder than any words spoken. If a married woman is developing feelings for you, she will show it even in times when nothing seems to be happening. For example, that uncomfortable pause when you exchange glances, or when she hesitates to answer a simple question, especially if it's something related to her husband or her personal life. These hesitations are like windows into her inner conflict. She wants to open up, but knows she's treading on dangerous ground. What you need to understand is that these silences or pauses are not accidental. They are manifestations of a repressed desire that she cannot hide. You need to learn to read these gaps as clear signs that something is up, even if she doesn't say anything directly. Number 8. How often she tries to start casual conversations. Pay attention because this is a classic. A woman in love with another man, especially if she is married, will find any excuse to talk to you. It may be about something silly, like the weather or a trivial detail in the work environment, but the intention is clear. She wants to prolong the moments she spends with you. This is where men often go wrong, because they think, oh, she's just being polite. No, she is creating opportunities to make an emotional connection. If the conversations are constant, if she seeks you out without any real need, it's time to turn on the alert. This behavior may seem harmless at first, but it is the first step to something much more complicated. Don't fall into the trap of thinking these are just casual interactions. Number 9. Why she seems more interested in your hobbies and opinions. When a married woman starts showing a sudden and intense interest in the things you like, it's time to pay attention. She starts asking about your hobbies, pretends to be interested in sports you've never watched, or even starts mentioning bands or movies you like. This is no coincidence, my friend. She is trying to create a bridge of connection, a common ground where she can get closer to you. This type of behavior is also a form of validation. By showing that you value her opinions and interests, she expects you to do the same. But be careful, because this is just another step in the emotional game. If you notice that she was never interested in these things before and suddenly everything you like seems fascinating to her, it's because there's something else going on. Number 10. When compliments become frequent and specific. Generic compliments like, "You're so nice," are one thing, but when a married woman starts complimenting specific details about you, it's a clear sign of interest. She mentions how she admires your intelligence, compliments the way you deal with people, or even talks about more physical aspects, like your style of clothing or your haircut. These compliments are carefully calculated to make you feel special. And let's be honest, men love to hear that. But here's the thing. These comments aren't just made to inflate your ego. They are part of a conscious effort to make you feel connected to her, so that you let down your guard and make room for something more. Don't mistake these compliments for innocent appreciation. They are tools in her game. Number 11. The use of accidental situations to cross your path. How many times have you heard that phrase? Wow, what a coincidence to find you here. Well, in most cases, this is no coincidence at all. If a married woman is in love with you, she will create accidental situations to be where you are. It could be at work, at the gym, at social events, or even places she knows you go regularly. These unplanned appearances are carefully orchestrated to appear casual, but the intention is clear. She wants more time with you. This is the time when you need to stop being naive and recognize what is happening. The more she comes your way, the more obvious it becomes that she is making an effort to enter your life in a deeper way. Number 12. How to recognize her internal conflict between desire and commitment. Lastly, but perhaps most importantly, it is crucial to understand the internal conflict she is facing. A married woman who is in love with another man lives torn between desire and commitment. On one hand, she feels the attraction, interest, and even excitement of being around you. On the other, there is the weight of a marriage, of promises made and responsibilities that cannot be ignored. This conflict manifests itself in moments of hesitation, looks that seem to carry a mixture of regret and desire, or even in conversations where she blurts out phrases like, "That's wrong," or "I don't know what to do." These signs are clear indications that she is at a breaking point, and that is when you need to be extremely careful. This is not just a game of feelings. It is a situation where wrong decisions can have serious consequences for everyone involved. These signs, although often subtle, have a clear pattern. The problem is that many men ignore it or choose not to see it, whether out of fear, insecurity, or simply not knowing how to act. Now that you understand what's behind each of these behaviors, it's up to you to decide what to do with that knowledge. After all, your dignity, your peace of mind, and your emotional future depend on the choices you make today. So, before taking the next step, think carefully. Is it worth risking everything for someone who is already committed? Or is it time to set limits and prioritize what really matters in your life?